Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see the next chapter of Lakshmikant, that is Vice President. Before going into the topic, let us see some of the introduction regarding this Vice President. In this lecture, we are going to see the important articles which are related to the Vice President. They include Article 63, Article 64, Article 66, Article 67, Article 67b, Article 69 and Article 70. These are the articles which are very related to the Vice President. So let us see each and every article. So let's get started with the Article 63 of the Indian Constitution. If you see the Article 63, it says, "There shall be the Vice President of India." So what is this Article 63? There shall be Vice President of India. So this Vice President who occupies the second most important post in India after the President of India. So let us see the Article 64. Article 64 of Indian Constitution talks that Vice President to be the ex officio chairman of the Council of the States, that is simply Rajya Sabha. So this Vice President will the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And if you see Article 66 of Indian Constitution, mainly talks about the election of Vice President. It is talking about election. So if you see the election of the Vice President, it is very much equal or similar to that of the election of the President. So this Vice President will be elected indirectly by the people, mainly through the proportional representation system, by the single transferable vote, and that too be with the secret ballot system. So the election manner is proportional representative system with single transferable vote. And with a secret ballot. And one important difference that you should note here is electoral college of the Vice President. It is very much different compared to the electoral college of the President. We are going to discuss about this, don't worry about this. So if you see the Article 67 of Indian Constitution mainly talks about the term of office. Term of office of the Vice President. Normal tenure of the Vice President is 5 years. So if you see Article 67b of Indian Constitution mainly talks about the removal of the Vice President, and we can remove the Vice President before the completion of a tenure whenever the resolution which is passed in the Rajya Sabha by the effective majority. So what is the effective majority? Effective majority means more than 50% of the effective strength of the House. More than 50% of effective strength of the House. So what is the effective strength? Effective strength means total strength of the House minus any vacancies. So whenever we are calculating this, how many seats are present, that means the total strength of the House minus vacancies. So it is called as effective strength. So if at all there is more than 50% of these people who are supporting this proposal for the removal of the Vice President in the Rajya Sabha, then it is said in this Article 67b of the Indian Constitution. And let us see the Article 69. Article 69 talks about oath and affirmations. And next one is Article 70. Article 70 is very important because this Article 70 mainly empowers the Parliament to make the provisions for the discharge of the functions of any contagious not provided by the Constitution of the India. So this Article 70 mainly empowering the Parliament to make any law or any act regarding the discharge of the functions of any contagious which are not provided in the Constitution. So if you see under this Article 70 of the Indian Constitution, mainly it is related to the discharge of the President's functions in any other contingency situations. So if at all in 1969 what happened, there was a death of the Zakir Hussain, and in the same year we saw registration or the resignation of the V.V. Giri, who was the Prime Minister at that time in 1969. So this post of the Prime Minister is vacant and also the post of the President is vacant. So Parliament came up with the one important act or the law. The name of that act is President Discharge of Functions Act of 1969. So according to this President Discharge of Function Act of 1969, it says if at all the President post is vacant. So whenever the President post is vacant, Vice President can take the charge. Correct? Within the election, that means within 6 months we have to conduct the election. But if at all, what happen if at all any time the President post is vacant, so it can be occupied by the Vice President. If at all Vice President is also vacant, then this post can be occupied by the CJI, that is a Chief Justice of India. And if at all this CJI is also absent or vacant, then this post will be taken up by the senior most judge of the Supreme Court. So this is about the Article 70. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about Article 63, Article 64, Article 66, Article 67, Article 69 and Article 70 of the Indian Constitution. These articles are relevant to the Vice President. So let us see what is written in the Lakshmikant now. So if you see here, Vice President occupies the second highest office in the country. He is accorded a rank which is next to the President of the India regarding the rank of presidents. And this office is modeled on the lines of the American Vice President. So this is about a small introduction regarding the Vice President. So let us see the election. This election, it is talked in the Article 66 of Indian Constitution. So if you see under this election, the Vice President, like President, is elected not directly by the people but by the method of the indirect elections. So he is elected mainly by the members of the Electoral College. So here you have to focus. Here you have to focus on the Electoral College of the President, how it is different from the Electoral College of the Vice President. So if you see the Electoral College, it is different from the Electoral College for the election of the President. So if you see the first important difference is, here it consists of both the elected and the nominated members of the Parliament. If you see the Electoral College of Vice President is elected by the members of the Parliament. That means the members of the Lok Sabha and also the members of the Rajya Sabha. And they included both the elected members and also the nominated members. If you see in the case of President, the nominated members do not included in the Electoral College. But here in the case of the Vice President, both the elected and also the nominated members of the Parliament, they were under the Electoral College of the Vice President. This is the first important difference. And let us see the next difference. It does not include the matters of the state legislative assemblies. If you see in the case of the President, Electoral College include elected members of the Lok Sabha, elected members of the Rajya Sabha and the elected members of the state legislative assemblies and also elected members of the legislative assemblies of Delhi and Puducherry. And here in the case of the Vice President, elected members or the members from the state legislative assembly are not present. Why there is a not including of the state legislative assembly members into the Electoral College of the Vice President? Because if you see President as the head of the state and his powers extended to both the center as well as the state. So because of this, the state legislative assembly members, elected members are included in the Electoral College of the President but not in the Vice President. For example, we also see in abnormal circumstances, Vice President also can take the charge as a President whenever the seat of the President is vacant. But it is only for the temporary period, not more than 6 months of the time. So there is no need of the elected members or the members of the state legislative assembly to include in the Electoral College of the Vice President. So let us see the manner of election. Manner of election is same for both the cases, and we see in the President election is according to the system of the proportional representation by the means of the single transferable vote, and this voting is by the secret ballot. And if you see, whenever any doubts or disputes in connection with the election of the Vice President, they are inquired into and they are decided by the Supreme Court, and this decision of the Supreme Court will be final. And let us see the qualification, oath and conditions. If you see, the Article 69 talks about the oath and affirmations regarding the Vice President. First, let us see the qualifications. The qualification to be eligible for the election of the Vice President. So, whenever any person who want to be the Vice President, first he have to have some qualifications. So, what are there? The first one is he should be the citizen of India. The first foremost qualification is he should be the citizen of India. And next one is he should have completed the 35 years of age. And next one is he should be qualified for the election as a member of the Rajya Sabha. If you see about the president qualification, here again difference is present between the president and the vice president. President should be qualified for the election as a member of Lok Sabha. If you see vice president, it is as a member of Rajya Sabha. So this is also very important prelims fact. And let us see the next one. He should not hold any office of profit under the union government or any state government or local authorities like panchayats, municipalities, and also any public authority. So these are some of the qualifications. And if you see, for the nomination of the candidate for the election to the office of the vice president, he must be subscribed by at least 20 electors as the proposals and also 20 electors as the seconders. And he have to make security deposit, that is about 15,000 rupees with the RBI. Let us see the oath and affirmation according to the Article 69 of the Indian Constitution. So before entering into his office, Vice President has to make a subscribe on an oath and affirmation. In his oath, the Vice President swears two important things. The first one is to bear truth, faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, and the next one is to faithfully discharge the duties of the office. So the oath of the office to the Vice President is administered by the President. So again, this is an important prelims fact. So this oath will be administered by the President or some person who is appointed by the President of India. And next one is conditions of office. Here, Constitution itself laid down some of the conditions regarding the Vice President. There are mainly two important conditions. First one is he should not be the member of the House of the Parliament. That is either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. He should not be the member. And he should not be the member of the House of the Legislature as well. Either the State Legislative Assembly or the Legislative Council of State. So he should not be the member. So what happens if he is a member of the House of the Parliament or the State Legislature? So what can be done? So if such a person who is elected as a Vice President, then he is deemed to have to vacate his seat in the House, that is either in the Parliament or in the State Legislature, on the date when he enters into the office of the Vice President. So whenever he is possessing the seat in either Parliament or in the State Legislature, he have to vacate the seat in the Parliament or either State Legislature, on which day he is entered into his office as a Vice President. And the next important one is he should not hold any other office of profit. So these are the two important conditions that are laid by the Constitution itself regarding the Vice President. So let us move further. Term and vacancy. This term, it is talked in the Article 67 of the Indian Constitution. So the normal tenure of the Vice President is 5 years. So what is the tenure here? That is 5 years. The Vice President holds the office for a tenure of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office. But however, he can resign his office at any time by addressing his resignation letter to the President of India. So again, this is very important prelims fact. Okay. And next one is he can also be removed from the office before the completion of the term whenever the resolution which is passed in the Rajya Sabha with the effective majority. And this resolution should be passed in the Lok Sabha with a simple majority. So this is again important regarding the prelims. So if you see, in the Rajya Sabha it should be passed with the effective majority. In the Lok Sabha it should be passed with a simple majority. So what is effective majority? That is a total strength of the house minus vacancies. That gives the effective strength of the house. So 50% or more than 50% of the effective strength of the house is called as effective majority. Is it clear? So let us see here. Vice President can be removed by a resolution which is passed by a majority of all then the members of the Rajya Sabha agreed by the Lok Sabha. So it is talking about the effective majority, and if you are talking about the Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha this resolution should be passed by a simple majority, that is more than 50% of the present and voting. Is it clear? Let us move further. The Vice President can hold the office beyond the tenure of 5 years until his successor come into charge. He is also eligible for the re-election to that office of Vice President any number of times. So these are some of the facts regarding the tenure of office. So let us see the next important part, that is a vacancy in office. A vacancy in the Vice President office can occur in the following ways. There are 5 important ways. First one is on the expiry of his tenure of 5 years. Next one is by resignation, on his removal, by his death, otherwise, for example, when he becomes disqualified to hold the office or when his election is declared void. So in these 5 situations, we can see there is a vacancy to this Vice President's office. So let us see, whenever this vacancy is caused by the expiration of his tenure of the 5 years, so before the expiry itself, the new elections will be conducted mainly to elect the Vice President. And if you see the other cases like resignation, removal, death or otherwise, in this case what happened? Election will fill the vacancy should be held as soon as possible after the occurrence of the vacancy. Then the newly elected Vice President remains in the office for the term of the full 5 years from the date he assumes the charges of his office. So in this way, whenever the vacancy to the Vice President is happening, in any case, there will be the election which is held. So in the first case, that is expiry of his tenure for the 5 years, we see before the expiration only the election will be conducted. But if you see in this case of resignation, removal, death or otherwise, we can see as soon as possible the elections should be held here. So once again, whenever the new Vice President who is taking into charge, then he will enjoy 5 years of the tenure from the date he joined the office. And let us see the powers and the function. There are 2 important functions of the Vice President. The first important one is he acts as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So according to the Article 64 of the Indian Constitution, it says that Vice President acts as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So in his capacity, his powers and functions, they are similar to those of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. So if you see, the office of the Vice President in India resembles the office of the Vice President in the America. How? Because in America, the chairman of the Senate, that is upper house of the American legislature, is the Vice President. Same we are following in India. Vice President will be the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So we can compare the Vice President office of India with the Vice President office of the America regarding the chairman of the Senate, that is upper house of the American legislature. So this is the first important function. And next one is he acts as a president or acting president when a vacancy occurs in the office of the president, mainly because of the resignation or impeachment or death or otherwise. He can act as a president only for the maximum period of the 6 months. So within which there will be the new elections which will be conducted to elect the President of India. So further, the sitting president is unable to discharge his function mainly due to any absence or any illness or any other cause. In this case also, Vice President will assume the duty of the President. And if you see, while Vice President acting as President or discharging the functions of the President, Vice President does not perform the duty of the office of the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So if you see, according to the Article 64, the one of the important function of the Vice President is he will act as ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Correct? So whenever Vice President is doing the duty of the President, so whenever Vice President assumed the office of the President, this Vice President will not gonna do the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So again the Vice President office will be occupied by the Deputy Chairman. Okay, here the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, this post will be occupied by the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Again, this is the important fact regarding the prelims. And if you see, the Constitution has not fixed any emoluments for the Vice President. In that capacity, he draws his regular salary in his capacity as ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So he will draw the salary as he is working for the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And the next one is, whenever any period when Vice President who is acting as a President or discharging the duties or functions of the President, he is not entitled to the salary and the allowances which is payable as a chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But the salary and allowances of the President will be given to the acting President, that is the Vice President who is discharging the duties of the President. Okay. By this, I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Before concluding, I want to give you a small announcement. So many students are asking about the provide this PDFs of this Lakshmikant and also the Nitin Singhania. But I directly took these notes from the Lakshmikant of the 6th edition. So if you want to refer these chapters, please open your Lakshmikant and refer. So it will be also helpful for you people. I don't want to spoon feed you people. You have to develop your habits. So whenever you are listening to this lecture, it will help you to understand and remember the concepts. So because of this, I am not providing the notes of these lectures of polity and also art and culture. So please refer the Nitin Singhania for the art and culture and also the 6th edition of the Lakshmikant for the polity purpose. So I hope you understand this lecture. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Please do like, share and comment my videos. Thank you.